Okay, did y'all see the fight last weekend where Sean Strickland lost his belt to DDP? Kind of crazy how it was judged. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little split on it myself. I know a lot of people feel that Sean Strickland was robbed, but I'm not really here to give you my opinion on it. Today, I'm here to give you some examples that kind of compare to this fight, whether it be that damage was favored over volume, or volume was favored over damage, or whether it was the fight ended up with the winner looking worse than the loser. You know, I got a few examples for y'all today, and I want you to check it out with me. So I immediately thought about the Johnny Hendricks versus GSP fight that happened way back in the day, where GSP ended up taking a victory and Johnny Hendricks ended up losing. But the thing is that GSP looked like hamburger meat. His face looked like complete hamburger meat after the fight, and Johnny Hendricks didn't look as bad. In this case, it seemed that GSP's work on the ground and his output with striking was favored over the damage that Johnny Hendricks was doing. But it's pretty interesting to see how Dana White reacted to that as opposed to how he reacted to the DDP and Strickland fight. Now, what about the Michael Bisping and Dan Henderson fight? That was pretty similar to this too, where Michael Bisping won off of the volume, but his face looked a lot worse than the loser. Dan Henderson really didn't have a scratch on his face at the end of that fight, and yeah, I would say Dan Henderson landed the stronger hits. I'd say Michael Bisping was favored because of his work with the takedowns and him out jabbing Henderson. But that was kind of a toss up too. People were kind of split on how that went too. And what about Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan, where Sean O'Malley outstruck Peter Yan, yet was really inactive as far as takedowns and was still given the victory. And with that fight, people really thought Peter Yan was controlling the fight as well. So that was another fight people were split on. And it was judged completely differently than the Strickland fight, where DDP won with less striking and Sean O'Malley won with more striking, with outstriking Peter Yan. How does that work? Pretty inconsistent. I think that's a great example right there. And then you got John Jones versus Dominic Reyes, where Reyes was baiting up John Jones for pretty much the whole fight. And John Jones gives a absolutely stellar fifth round, which I'll give him that. I'll give him kudos on that fifth round. John Jones looked amazing in that fifth round. But other than that, he was getting his butt whooped and still ended up getting the victory. Pretty inconsistent right there. Then you got the Volk fight with Makhachev. After that fight, Makhachev won the fight, but he looked absolutely battered and gassed, while Volkanovski looked like he just took a lap around the park or something. I don't know. Pretty inconsistent right there. Or I don't know. That's kind of up for grabs. A lot of people really do think Volk won that fight. It's just another example of a fight where people were just split on public opinion and where the winner really looked worse in the face than the loser. And you know what? I'll give y'all a boxing example as well. How about when Canelo Alvarez fought Erislandy Lara, where Erislandy Lara landed more jabs and technically outstruck Canelo, but still ended up losing because the judges favored the power and the consistency of Canelo and how he was coming forward rather than being outstruck. That's one where people, I don't know if it's as controversial nowadays, but I damn sure remember it. And I feel like Lara kind of probably should have deserved, it probably should have been a draw, honestly. Okay, I know I gave y'all some of my personal opinions on that, but the video wasn't meant for my personal opinion. It was more so to create conversation and to compare and contrast. Is judging really, does judging need to be fixed in UFC? Do Does Dana White need to do something about this? Is Dana White himself consistent when it comes to talking about these results and matchups? Is there something going on that we need to talk about further? How about y'all talk about it? I'll give y'all the floor. I'll give y'all the floor to talk about it. My name is Dolo Ren, producer of the Productive Conversations podcast, and now covering boxing and MMA content for the platform. Check us out on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, on all social media platforms. Like, share, subscribe, follow, tell a friend. You know the vibes. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.